7:30. I think we'll call the meeting to order. The secretary note that all directors are here. We are short one member, and hopefully we can get that filled soon here. The minutes for July 13th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept the minutes as printed.
Motion by Pat to accept the minutes as written. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Bruce. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried without dissent. Our regular meeting of September 14th. First on the list to consider a request to reduce the front yard setback from 5 feet to 2 feet at 455 15th Street West. Who's here to talk to that? Would you come to the podium and give us your name and?
Yes, sir. Jay Wilhelm from Prairie Maid Laundry. My property is up around the, south of the former Bonanza or south of the mall. What I would like to get, I believe you guys have a copy, I dropped one off, is like this. It would be a proposed sign or sign board, a post for a sign. And what it amounts to is, on my initial building permit, there was an old sign from Taco John's there, which I had intended on using. However, there was some discussion about that it was abandoned too long in order to be used. So before I got my temporary occupancy permit, one of the conditions of getting that was I had to cut it down. And so, that's fine and done. That's over with. Now, what I would like to do is get a reduced setback amount from the property line in order to put a sizable sign or a reasonable sign. It would still be below any of the signs surrounding it, which are mainly the hotel in back of me or to the southwest corner. And my reason for doing it is, any of you that are in business know that you need proper signage. Attaching it to the wall is not a real good option. You have better visibility when it stands out, especially at the speeds that people travel along on that road. And even with the reduced setback, you have to keep in mind that you have the street, then you have the sidewalk, then you have a 10-foot easement for all the utilities to go into. Then you have the property line. So even though I want to reduce it from 5 feet to 2 feet, I will still be 12 feet off of the sidewalk, which is more than sufficient as far as crowding, people walking by, whatever. I realize that, as the city progresses, easements and different things changed as far as, what the city requires for signage and everything. This isn't a real unreasonable request. As I said, I will still be 12 feet from the edge of my sign from the sidewalk. That's quite a distance. It's not like downtown. It's not, like some of the other areas where it's going to be over the sidewalk and you'll have either rain or snow clumps, falling off of it. It won't impede traffic. It won't impede visibility. I just feel that for the businesses that have been long-term in the city and are here after sometimes the oil leaves or goes away for a while and hopefully comes back, there needs to be reasonable adjustments made, for the Main Street businesses. And to me, this is not an unreasonable request. I don't know if any of you gentlemen have any questions or anything I can clear up or answer.
Questions for Jay?
Not for me.
Not for you, Bruce?
No.
Trevor?
What's the height of the sign? We addressed it a little bit, by saying it was gonna be 10 feet up, but do you have an idea of the height yet?
I didn't. What I was gonna do is measure it off of Bill Patel's sign to make sure that I'm lower than that. I mean, we're probably talking at the most, about 18, 20 feet at the most. I believe that's about where the bottom of his sign is. I haven't actually went over and measured it yet. If you look at some of the other existing signs over there, you know, Bonanza's probably about 30 foot. You have Cenex. Their sign is considerably higher than that. Burger King's is higher than that. The Astoria, I believe all of his signs are off and over on the top of his, which is a 3-story building. The only other one would be the other Mexican restaurant, the Hat, you know, just down the road, and I don't believe that they have an overly tall sign. It's probably, I'd misspeak if I ballparked it. I really don't know.
Okay.
Excuse me, as a general note, as far as the existing sign that was there, that was a condition of the actual building permit. We've been trying to get the sign down for years, and when Mr. William wanted to put this building up, we made it a condition of the new building permit to take that sign down. So it was of no surprise that that needed to come down. It was a conforming sign, and that's why it needed to come down. Could not be reused.
That's not quite what the building permit said. It said it must, let's see. It said it had to conform. Oh, I don't have it. Let's see, somewhere it's on here. My apologies, but it said that it must conform to current sign codes, which I was told that they did change within the last couple of years since we went for the permit. Which, as I said, was fine, but it's still,
I don't have the permit in front of me also, but it's, I believe that the wording may have read, I did write the permit.
Yeah.
Said remove existing sign, new sign must conform to the new standards. Is probably the wording.
here it is. Existing sign pole to meet current code requirements or be removed. So I didn't have a chance to come, when I found out that the sign codes had changed, the August meeting was canceled, so I did not have an option to come in before we cut it down.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead,
Okay,
Bruce.
so you've got a picture here where the sign's photoshopped onto where the building is. Is that the approximate size and?
I would say it's probably gonna be about, it'll be actually closer back to the building. I haven't had any work done as far as, from somebody with the architectural stamps for the concrete to hold the pole, because I didn't know if it was gonna be, if you guys say no, I didn't wanna go through the extra expense. Things are expensive enough right now at
Right.
this point in time.
But the size of the sign, what's the size, the
Well,
dimensions of that sign?
The dimensions of that sign are actually higher than probably what it's gonna be. It is, this, I think they had set at like 25 feet. Because it actually, it's very close to matching the top of my building.
Okay.
Which it actually will be shorter.
Okay. But the size of the sign, I mean, the dimensions of the physical sign is
4 by 6.
4 by 6, okay.
Yeah.
6 foot wide, 4 foot wide, 6 foot high.
Yeah, and then by the time you get by the time you get a foot and a half out to 2 feet out from the building, it should actually be, from what we're guesstimating, 6 inches short of the 2 feet. And as I said, that even if it comes out to the 2 feet, that is still
The only thing
12
that's
feet
infringing
away.
on the easement there is the sign itself?
And generally, as far as projecting into an easement, we do not allow structures into easements. In addition, we did get a email from the manager of the mall. I believe that was distributed by email to all the board members.
Did get that?
And they don't support, I guess, the reduction.
Did they say why?
Says we submit that the established guidelines and setbacks should be followed and no variance granted at this time.
Well, I guess they have enough parking lot space to where for them, any additional signage wouldn't be a problem. They also don't have 10 feet, all they have to do is stay 5 feet off their sidewalk. I have to stay, according to this, 15 feet off the sidewalk because of the 10-foot easement for the utilities that come by, and I will not be hanging over that easement. I will still be on my property. The edge of the sign will be 2 feet away from my property line. So I will not be hanging over the easement. It won't affect the utilities one bit.
The pole itself is not in the easement, right?
Nor is the signage.
Nor is the signage.
No.
Hey, Len, a question for you.
Yeah.
In this picture, there's a truck parking sign.
Yes,
Is that,
that's a non-conforming sign.
oh, it's a non-conforming sign.
If that sign comes down, it will not go back.
Okay, and
Which one?
how about the Heritage Inn sign?
Oh, okay.
Those signs are on their property, and the flagpole effect is up to the easement line on those.
Okay,
And that's
It's kind
coming,
of hard to tell from this photo.
okay.
that's coming down, okay.
No, that one's on.
Pardon?
Which one?
This one? The truck parking sign? Is that the one that's coming down?
No, if it were to come down, it's a non-conforming sign. If it were to be damaged or needs to be repaired, it would have to be removed.
Okay.
But the other sign is a conforming sign?
Yes.
Okay.
Which other sign? I don't have the picture that you have.
The welcome, the flagpole effect on these.
Okay. You measured this one and this one sticks out?
I believe that they had to come in front of the board at the time in order to get this permit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was, you have to measure from the edge of the sign, not the pole, right?
Correct.
Okay, from the edge of this sign and this sign, this sign hangs out further than mine will. His sign.
Your building setback is what right now?
My building setback is 10 feet,
And the easement is,
and the easement is 10 feet. 20 feet away from the sidewalk.
so you have an easement right up against your building, is what you just said.
No, the easement is from here to about here. Then my setback is back to here. This technically isn't an easement. I'm not sure, I don't remember how it works, but I believe that the utilities actually, I don't know if they own it or what, but I know that 10 feet from the sidewalk to the property line is not ours.
Do you happen to have a map that would show the easement?
Here's the,
No, I do not.
yeah, this. It shows his old sign right on the edge of his property.
The old sign was like within a foot of the easement, I believe, or a foot of the property line.
Right on the corner of the building, doesn't it?
looks like it's partially over, the cement would be partially over the old sign prior to this. This is your old pin, and that's your old sign. Looks like the sign wasn't, but your cement wasn't.
Possible. I didn't, it's hard to say because there's a couple of the pins that have been actually
That's the kind of big and
removed
small, I
before
can't
we
see it.
got it.
Can't
So
read
the
it.
only pin that I have is one of the original pins that divided my property from the old Taco John's property. That's one of the only pins left. There's another one that's probably about 40 feet down, but the other one is covered up by the street that goes down to the motel. And it was not located when we built.
Looks like you have 10 feet, and just a shade over that is from the property line to the building.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say you have another 10 feet from that to the curb or to the sidewalk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that 10-foot would be that utility easement then.
Yeah.
How wide's the sidewalk gonna be there? There's no sidewalk there now.
There is sidewalk there now. It's probably standard, what are they, 4
Okay.
Oh, there is
4
sidewalk.
feet?
Okay.
Like I said, if I would be directly hanging over the sidewalk or, you know, impending on the street at all, I would think that that would be asking a little much. But considering I won't even, this edge of the sign won't even be hanging into the utility easement, it just lends a little different light to it.
Okay,
You know, it doesn't hamper visibility.
any further questions for Jake?
No.
Pat? Are you ready to make a decision?
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we grant the variance based on the individual staying within his 10 feet of distance from the building to the property line and not encroaching on the easement, utility easement.
There's one
That's
thing I think we need to clarify and make sure that easement doesn't go.
Let's go
right-
back here. There's a motion on the floor. Is
Oh,
there a
sorry.
second?
I'll second.
Second by Trevor. Okay,
Okay.
discussion.
Sorry about that. I need to, or we should verify that that easement does not go right up to the building. That's my concern at this time. And
Okay, can we include that in the motion?
I would also add that to the motion that the city will verify that the utility easement does not extend all the way to the building line.
Any further discussion?
I think we need to be a little more specific in the motion. You know, he's asked for a 4-foot by 6-foot sign. I think we should have that limitation in the motion
That-
and be specific on how far back. Right now, he's asking for a 2-foot variance from a 5-foot setback to a 2-foot. So there's actually a 3-foot variance that you're asking for. Is that correct? I think we need to be specific in saying that we're gonna allow a 3-foot variance.
Okay, can we
to-
amend that to include in the motion?
I move to amend the motion to specifically say that it's a 3-foot variance from the city, or, I'm sorry.
It's
2-foot
3-foot
setback.
variance.
Well, it
Still a
says
3-foot
from a 5-foot setback to a 2-foot setback.
Yeah,
So you're asking for a 3-foot variance?
yes,
Okay, so a 3-foot variance to the normal setback.
yes.
Okay. Len, you tell us what's more
Well,
clear to you.
You could do it either way.
Okay.
I mean, to go to a 2-foot setback,
Okay.
So we just leave it that way then?
Yeah, with a 2-foot setback, rather than the 3-foot variance, let's go with a 2-foot setback, rather than a 5-foot setback. So I move to amend the motion to specify that it's a 2-foot setback as opposed to the standard 5-foot setback.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Trevor. Any further discussion?
Can I just
Yeah,
ask about how
certainly.
long that'll take? Or if you need to finish, go ahead and then,
Go ahead.
about how long are we looking at?
you'd submit for a sign permit, and it can take up to a week.
Okay. So, no, not the sign permit, but you wanted to check on the variant, or
That would be today.
easement, okay.
Immediately.
That'd be part of your verifying that you actually get a sign permit.
Okay. We vote on the amendment first. Pat?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Trevor?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. The original amendment to grant. Pat?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Trevor?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. Do a good job on that, Jay,
Thank you.
or we're gonna be on you. Okay. Okay, second on our list, to consider a request to reduce the buffer zone on the north property line from 30 feet to 9 feet at 111 4th Avenue West, and, uh-oh, we're being ganged on here.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mr. President and Commissioners. I'm Terry Dvorak, representing Charbonneau Car Center. Along with me is Scott Heckerman with Boundary Engineering. So we're here this morning to ask for a variance on a buffer zone at our service building, which is 111 4th Avenue West. Currently, there's a 39-foot space between our current existing service building and the end of the property. We're asking to go down to 9 feet. The variance, or I should say the buffer zone is required to be 30 feet. We're asking to go down to 9 feet. So basically what's happening is, what we've been trying to do is, we're still having parking problems down there. I mean, it's getting better. I think we're definitely ahead of where we were several years ago, but we're trying to clean things up. We've eliminated some buildings that were some older structures that we were using for service storage and parts storage. So along with cleaning those buildings up and tearing them down, we've just ran short on storage for parts. We're currently using 3 portable storage buildings right now, or those portable storage units. And they don't look the best, I guess. It's really hard to clean snow around them, and you know, we'd rather just eliminate those three removable storage units and add on to our existing service building. So that's why we're here requesting the variance to go from 30 feet to 9 feet, is to eliminate those 3 portable units and go to one structure that's tied on to our current service building. We, you know, just what we currently were using is our old body shop for storage. And of course, that was across the street and then down a block, and just a lot of time wasted going back and forth. And especially in the morning and in the afternoon when school is in session, it gets really busy. So it just really congests things. So I think this would eliminate a lot of that with what we're requesting. So you guys kind of, I believe you have a site plan there that shows the addition that we would like to put on. So if you guys have any questions, please ask.
Questions for Terry?
No complaints from the neighbors?
No, I received no phone calls pertaining to this request.
Okay. Anybody here to speak for or against? There isn't? Okay. Any further questions, comments? Leonard, do you have anything? Yeah, the fence is already up, the buffer?
We did put a 6-foot fence there that is on our property line. Also, just to specify that the building we're putting up is strictly for storage. There won't be any mechanical work done in that addition. It's just mainly for our snow removal equipment and again, parts and service storage. So we're, as far as, the noise quality, nothing should be changed there.
This
So
building doesn't take up much more room than those 3 units you have there.
it's
does it?
actually less than the
Less-
3
less?
units, yep.
The buffer that they have created with the fence, if they came to us today without that fence there, that would probably, one of the criteria to put that up in order to
Okay.
build what they have there, and they already have it.
Okay. Further questions?
Is the building going to be as high as what the existing one is?
No, it's not. It's actually gonna be about 8 feet less as far as height. So, yeah, it's just gonna taper down. The water will still run off on the north side, but there is a drain structure there that will allow it to go onto the street. So, no, it won't be as high. They're gonna come down right, but it's between, I should say, between 6 and 8 feet yet.
Okay.
Well, you guys certainly have taken up a lot of room over there, and it's pretty.
Yeah,
Lots of equipment, and a lot of units sitting there, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're trying to, again, with the growth of the community, provide good service for everyone, but at the same time, stay friendly with the neighbors. We realize we're near the residential zone, so, I hope we're doing our part in being neighborly and, taking consideration from everybody, from the business standpoint and the residential standpoint. So if there are any complaints, I certainly try to handle them right away.
Good.
So,
Anything further?
Hmm.
Everything? Pat?
Nope.
Are you ready to grant or deny the variance?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to grant the variance as requested.
Okay, motion by Trevor to grant the variance as requested. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Pat. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Trevor?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye.
okay,
Good
thank you.
work, guys.
All right, thank you.
Okay, next on our list, to consider a request to reduce street side yard setback to 15 feet down to 7 feet at 810 Custer. Who's here? You here to speak to? Come on up and give us all the pertinent details here.
I hope I can. My name's Joe Swigos. I'd like to add on to my garage. It goes to the west. I have no neighbors to the west. There's a street there. And behind my house is a drainage ditch. So there's nothing there. And with this easement, it will not affect traffic at all. It won't affect the city snow removal or anything. It's all on my property. And I don't know what else to say, or what questions you might have.
Certainly a nice little home, nice little house. Too bad it's on a corner lot.
Well, it's nice too, though. It's not all bad.
Oh, those corner lots are nasty. That's,
And there's no sidewalk that's ever been, I was told there was no sidewalk planned to go on the
along that, that's 8th?
west,
Is it 8th
Eighth,
Avenue?
8th Avenue East,
8th Avenue?
yeah. So
Well,
I
as
don't
far
know
as
if any-
sidewalk plan, anytime the city is, we did actually some research of actually putting in sidewalk where we do not currently have sidewalk for pedestrian travel. Where there isn't sidewalk, it's noted, and in the coming years, sidewalk will be put in. Just so that everyone is aware of that. So that there's the statement that there would never be sidewalk there, I don't believe that right now that's going to be an accurate statement. And how we do on existing structures, a lot of times is, when somebody does add on, we will attach that to the new building permit to get that sidewalk put in. City's working on some programs to, help us encourage people to put those sidewalks in. Instead of, right now in the code, we could actually mandate it, but we want to definitely work with people to get these sidewalks put in.
So is there a plan to put a sidewalk there?
Actually, the city does not have any plans to put the sidewalk in. It'll be a effort with homeowners to actually get the sidewalk put in.
There's a bridge right back there too, so somebody'd have to build a thing to make it go all the way across.
Yes.
That's not on the homeowner, is it?
Oh, no, not on that drainage portion, no. It's on what would be adjacent to your private property.
Did anybody have any objection to my doing this?
No, I did not receive any calls or objections for this.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Regarding the visibility when you get that close to the property line on a corner lot. Is that a problem with visibility for?
It is a
any-
problem. We do set our setbacks at the 15 feet for corner lots. Front yard's 25 and the side is 15. If the garage comes off, in this circumstance, if the garage actually came off of 8th, it would have been 20 feet instead of 15. So we do push it back if there's access onto 8th with the front yard off of Custer.
Okay, so if the garage access was on 8th, the setback would be even further
It'd be 20 feet.
rather than 15.
Unless, if we were a front yard, then it'd be 25. So there are adjustments on corner lots.
Okay.
But at no time have
Has
we,
that always been that way?
yes,
know-
since I've been here, yes.
Okay, well, it just seems to me that we always, on a corner lot, you have the same setbacks on both street sides, both avenue and street side.
There, if it's a major intersection, it will be 25 and 25.
Okay,
And it definitely depends on the size of the lot.
okay.
There is some
There are some
adjustment.
that aren't.
Yes,
Okay,
there's some
there are
variables there, yes, absolutely.
In this case, we're 15 feet, right?
Yes.
Would there be a problem in even backing out on the street that close to the corner?
Talking with engineering, generally they like to see driveways 75 feet from a intersection. A lot of times, getting closer, yes, that would be,
That is a problem, isn't
that
it?
is a problem. Someone making a turn onto Custer, well, anything can happen.
So currently, the existing garage is currently 25 feet setback, right?
From Custer, 15 from 8th,
No, but the current garage.
yes. The current garage is a front yard, 25-foot setback,
Okay, and on the side right now,
is 15 feet.
Right now, the existing garage is 15 feet from the property line?
I show it as 25, 19 and
Okay.
7. So it's 20,
On my drawing here, it says 15 feet. Let's see here.
well, he wants to build a 19-foot garage and then and reduce the setback to 7.
Okay, I
So
see
it
that.
must be currently 25.
It's currently 25.
So 25 from the front, 25 from the side is what it's currently at.
Yes,
And so really, he could build a 10-foot garage and not ask for variance.
correct.
I mean, add 10 feet on
Without a variance?
without a variance.
Which would give him a 24-foot garage, right?
What's that?
Actually,
No, I don't have.
Right?
See, this one says only 15.
Is that right?
I'm confused.
yeah,
This next one shows a 15.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay,
see.
there it is. Yeah, it's,
let's see, what do you have?
There's two different ones in it.
He wouldn't be
So
able
which one is it, do you know?
Currently, what is your setback from your existing garage? It's 15 feet right now? Are you aware?
No, it's more than 15 feet.
It's gotta be more than
More
that.
than 15 feet.
Well, that's what you have on the drawing is 15 feet existing.
Oh,
Yeah, this one's different.
It depends on where that property
That
pin
one's
is. How far is the property pin from,
shows
from the
19
shows
garage,
the
20
curb? Do you know,
another
Joe?
Shows 26 there.
Okay.
So I don't know what one it is.
Let's see where it's,
Oh, right now, the property line's 10 feet. Oh, that's probably where the 25 comes from. The property line is 10 feet in from the curb. And then from there in, it's 15 feet. And this one is showing 25. No?
26 on one
he
here.
wants to reduce it down to 7 feet.
Okay.
Pardon?
According to the, what we had written up, it's at 15 feet, and he wants to reduce it down to 7 feet.
So the garage is 25 feet from the curb as it is right now.
So we measure everything from property line. It is, yeah, from the curb.
From the curb.
All right.
But from the property line, it's only 15 feet.
Okay.
So is it, he only requesting an 8-foot garage then? If he wants to be 7 feet off.
So he's requesting only 8 foot of garage then, right? If he wants to set back from 15 feet to, at a variance of 7 feet, he wants to keep 7 feet from his property line, that's an addition of 10 feet onto the garage, right?
I'm getting confused.
Or 8 foot, I mean, 8 foot, not 10
How,
foot, 8
how
foot.
big is your parking,
Comprehending.
how big is your parking pad that you have on the side of your garage? Do you know?
That's about 10 feet.
And then do you know how far it is from your parking pad to the side, to the street? Because I drove by, it seems to be about 25 feet from the street maybe,
Yeah, it's,
From Custer.
but with no
From
sidewalk
Custer back to the garage, it's 25 feet, I believe.
from Custer to the garage. So it
I
is
believe
this
it's
15
25
foot
feet
off.
that way.
And there'd be about 10 feet of his property or so there, okay.
And so you're asking to put garage over the pad, not add on to the pad?
I want to add a little bit onto the pad, the existing pad off to the side of the garage. I'm not sure how it comes out to about 3-4 feet or something, I think.
Okay.
what will be
I'm
the width of
just-
your garage, Joe?
Huh?
What will be the width of your garage? Where the overhead door is? What are you looking at there?
I think I'm adding 19 feet, total of
To
19
the
feet.
14?
Huh?
To the 14?
Yeah,
So currently he's at that 25, 26 setback with the existing house. Has to be.
Yeah.
And with this addition, he would infringe in that and be at that 7 foot. That's what he's requesting,
Okay, so he could add 10 feet without a variance.
or 9 feet,
8 feet, wasn't it? 8 feet? 8
or
feet, really, if there's 15 feet there.
Yeah.
yes.
So it's 8 feet.
Yep. And with the existing single-stall garage, would have 22 wide overall.
So he could do a double, not, I mean, a little more work, you could make that garage into a double without a variance.
Pardon?
Yes.
Yes.
Say again, Joe?
With, you can make the existing garage, if you add on to it, to 22 feet without a variance. So you
without
could
a
make a
variance.
double garage out of the garage that he has without a variance. And not go closer, not infringe on the,
Street side yard
Street side.
setback, correct.
Wouldn't that be the logical thing to do, Joe?
What?
Build put an 8-foot addition onto your existing garage and make a 22-foot garage out of it without any variances?
I'd like to have it larger so I have some storage space and whatnot.
Can you go further back with it, where you got some storage? To the back, to the south?
I am planning to go back about 4 feet from the existing wall. It's going to be 4 feet longer.
Okay, so you're at 28 feet then, huh? Or no?
You know,
Yeah.
Are we pretty sure on the setbacks then, that it is currently 25 feet?
Yes.
Okay, and so the additional 8 feet would be because of a 2-foot overhang? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
No,
we
it
don't
doesn't
want
include overhang.
Okay, so if it's 25 feet and the variance is 15 feet, why is it only 8 feet that he can add on? The math isn't adding up to me. Couldn't he add on 10 feet?
He is currently 14 feet. Let's see, 25.
Oh, you're talking about the 14
He's at 25 feet setback currently.
currently, right?
Yes.
So he could add 10 feet on.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Other comments, questions? Gentlemen?
I did drive by, and I'm a little concerned with adding into that, the 15-foot setback over there. Trying to visualize the structure and driving through, I could see from either coming off Custer or turning onto Custer, how that would make it very difficult, or at least a lot more difficult than it is now. And I know he can add some to his garage without the variance, so it still would make it,
And the city has these standards set, and I've been with the city for 13 years, and as far as I know, reducing that street side yard, I cannot recall any variance that is granted based on that.
I've been here longer than you, Leonard, and I can never remember doing that. Even fences, on the side of the garage,
On a corner lot.
on corner.
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Comments, other comments? Are you ready to make a decision? Deny or grant the variance? Okay. Is there a motion?
I make the motion to deny the variance to
Motion by
infringe
Trevor to deny
the setback.
the 7-foot setback. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Bruce. Further discussion?
Joe, do you have?
Hey, Joe, do you have any comments? Any further comments?
I'd like to add a 2-stall garage, and I'd just like enough room to make it add a 2-stall garage to it. Whatever space that would take.
Okay,
And that's the main reason I'm asking for this variance, is to be able to do that.
Leonard?
With the existing garage and what you're allowed per code, you should be able to do that. And in fact, depending on what you have for openings on your house, you may be able to go deeper on your existing garage also. You should be able to, just by looking at on paper here, to accommodate a larger size structure.
Well, whatever you decide, can you write it down for me? Because
Okay,
I have trouble.
okay,
I've got health issues, and I'm not comprehending everything that's
okay, Joe.
explaining,
Okay.
how you're explaining
Okay,
things here. So
so-
I'd like to get it in writing and tell me what I need to do.
Okay, Leonard can work with you on that then.
If you wanted to come into the building department office, we can tell you what you can and do as far as an accessory structure.
Who do I talk to?
You can talk to myself, Leonard Schwint,
Okay,
or my staff.
okay. Is it that second window then?
Yes, yes.
And when can I do that?
But you can just stop in and set up an appointment, and still can be today. If you,
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Trevor?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
I'll vote aye. Work with Leonard on that, on what you can put on there.
Joe, I
Okay.
think you can still have a nice garage there by moving back further and giving yourself a little bit more room there, not encroaching into that zone. I think that can work for you.
But that would just be a one-stall garage.
No,
No.
it'd be two stall.
See, I'm not comprehending that.
No, you
Okay.
can make two stalls.
You can make 2 stalls out of it, Joe. Work with Leonard on that.
yep, I'll show you what you can do.
Thank you.
Joe, I can give you a hand too if you need to understand this a little better.
Joe, Pat will work with you too if you need some help.
No, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
That's good.
Okay, no, that's no problem.
Confused with all this.
That's not a problem.
We'll get her.
We'll get it. Thank you. Anything else to come before the board?
No,
Leonard?
no, the only thing is to, if you do know of anyone who would be a good member or addition to the board here, definitely, let's get some apps out.
Okay, sounds good.
Citizen interest form filled out, and let's get it done.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to
Motion
adjourn.
by Pat, second by Trevor. We are adjourned. Thank you, guys.